Greetings. This is going to be a short video to prove to any American voter sitting at home thinking that this war is unjustified and unwarranted that they are wrong. The Iranian regime has had American blood on their hands for decades. Since the Islamic Revolution of 1979, they have been an adversary of the United States, and they were not shy about it. Almost every military parade has posters with anti-American slogans, all sorts of arts and crafts with coffins and important figures on them, people stepping on and burning American and Israeli flags. So this idea that they haven't been aggressively anti-American in their rhetoric is nonsense. Now let's go over some of the bones that an American viewer might have to pick with this disgusting regime. 1979, right after the Islamic Revolution that gave us this regime, the Iranian hostage crisis occurred.
This picture tells it all. This flag was apparently taken from someone's office inside the United States Embassy. It was burned Tuesday evening outside the embassy's gates. To the Iranian demonstrators who set fire to it, this was a symbol of victory. 2 days earlier, several hundred young people, mainly students at Tehran University, had taken over the embassy. "We are not occupiers," they said. "We have thrown out the occupiers." But instead of chasing all the Americans out of the compound, the Iranians imprisoned them in a building somewhere on these grounds. They have been hostages ever since.
In which 66 Americans, including diplomats and civilian personnel, were taken hostage, and 52 of them were kept for 444 days until their release on January 20th, 1981. In 1983, the US Embassy and Marine Barracks in Beirut, Lebanon, were bombed. The result killed 258 Americans.
Good evening. This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. The U.S. Embassy in Beirut tonight is a floodlit scene of death and devastation. Much of the 7-story building is rubble, and in that rubble, possibly more victims of a massive terrorist car bomb. Lebanese police say at least 39 people were killed, 120 injured.
We have a bulletin from the Pentagon on the explosion in Beirut at the U.S. Marines barracks. The Pentagon now estimates that 120, possibly more, 120 American Marines have been killed. 45 of the more critically wounded have been evacuated. Others remain to be evacuated later.
The embassy bombing was the deadliest attack on the US diplomatic mission up to that time and was considered the beginning of Islamist attacks on the US targets. It wasn't concluded who did the terror attack. Was it Islamic Jihad or Hezbollah? And it doesn't make a difference since both of them were trained and funded by Iran. We also popped the head of the Islamic Jihad at the time of the bombings, Imad Murnia, in Damascus in 2008, so you're welcome. There was a 1988 mine incident in the Strait of Hormuz during the Iran-Iraq War where the USS Samuel B. Roberts contacted a mine. The incident left 10 sailors severely injured and another 4 seriously burned. As a result, 4 days after the incident, the US launched Operation Praying Mantis, in which the US Navy destroyed 2 Iranian surveillance platforms, sank 2 of their ships, and severely damaged another one. June 25th, 1996, the Hobart Towers bombing in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, where a bomb detonated, killing 19 US airmen and injuring more than 400 US and international military members and civilians.
This year, June 25th fell on a weekend, but this date, June 25th, must not go unnoticed. It's the 20th anniversary of the vicious terror attack on Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia. Most of us may have missed the anniversary since it happened over the weekend, but I know at least 19 families were painfully aware of this anniversary. It's the date their loved ones serving us in uniform were murdered. 19 U.S. Air Force personnel died in that terrorist attack. More than 350 others were injured.
The attack was perpetrated by Hezbollah al-Hijaz, a Shiite terrorist group funded by Iran. Then in 2002, an Iranian opposition group leaked that the same regime that brought the world the suicide bomber is developing a secret nuclear weapons program.
Iran's parliament in exile, the National Council of Resistance of Iran, the event revealed the existence of previously undisclosed nuclear sites at Natanz and Arak.
Today I'm going to reveal to you 2 top secret sites of the Iran regime. One of these 2 top secret projects is a project in the city of Natanz. The second project, the Arak top secret project, this is a heavy water project and is seen as a top secret project within the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran.
2 facilities were disclosed: a uranium enrichment facility in Natanz and a heavy water production plant in Arak. That is also around the time of the famous Axis of Evil speech made by the then President George W. Bush, who was a funny guy, but he was not wrong. During the entire war on terror in Iraq, Iran, through their proxy forces and Shiite militias, were responsible for the death of at least 603 US servicemen. All of this is just the American perspective. Obviously, Israel has a bone to pick with this regime for all the Israeli blood on their hands. So now we're getting to present day. So same time last year, they were close to breakaway potential in their nuclear program. Whether they crossed it or haven't, we don't know, as civilians. Also, the JCPOA, better known as the Iran deal of 2015, was absolute garbage, wasn't even worth the paper it was written on. It basically lifted sanctions and allowed this insane regime to make money, which they use for terror activities, all while not disclosing all their nuclear facilities and basically just showing the IAEA only what the Ayatollah wanted them to see. But just to reiterate why this war had to happen, and also why this regime cannot be allowed to have nuclear weapons. Regimes that believe in martyrdom, that invented the suicide bomber in the modern era, that sponsor terrorism across the entire Middle East cannot have weapons of mass destruction. You would think that with all these riches coming from the earth and a lavish ancient culture, go ahead and live in prosperity with your neighbors. Provide for your people, nurture them, perhaps even invent something that would benefit the world. But alas, no. They have to have a constant enemy from afar. I hope you guys liked the video. Please leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.